Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Only Football. Max Beimler, despondent as ever. And Michael Holder, how you doing?
Hey, another week of football in the books.
Midweek,
Yeah,
weekend. Midweek's just kicking off, which we're going to be previewing.
yeah, but it was still, FA Cup. Still got some decent.
I want to talk about that too, actually. The FA Cup.
Decent, mystery Premier League games with not mystery, but Spurs, that race for top four, still open, wide open.
Yeah, they were really flat. I kind of was, got up early, was kind of watching that on and off. And they were just extremly flat in that match.
Yeah, they were.
We won't focus on too much, but really nice finish by Trossard made Eric Dyer look like Eric Dyer, like straight up, like he flinched, he bit so hard on it.
Did it give you some hope going into today's match?
No, not at all. I resigned Champions League again after Watford, and nothing's changed. And Arsenal's been in terrible form. Spurs have been in great form, and they just didn't show up in that match. I expect nothing, and frankly, not how I expected United Liverpool to go today. Frankly, a little disappointed in Liverpool.
Because they didn't get your correct score of 5-0?
6. Oh. Come on.
No.
Come on. I thought they won up what they did at Old Trafford.
No, because they're at home at Anfield.
Yeah, and they wanted it too. They after they made it 4-0 late. When they make it 4-0, like 85th ish, they were still pushing for that fifth goal. Like Salah almost made it 5 in the last minute, and they wanted it, and understandably so. I'd want it too. Like just a clean 5-0. And they might be. I feel like they're a little disheartened, Liverpool. After today.
For one, I think they have no complaints. Obviously, not the start Man United wanted. Was that easier for you that Liverpool scored early?
I expected it. So I was at work, and I was telling everyone, listen, we're gonna put this massacre on. Once it's 2-0, I'm switching to. Because I forgot today. I forgot that the Coppa Italia was on with AC and Inter, and said once it's 2-0, I'm changing it. And then, so there's about 20 minutes of 1-0 Inter, and then Inter made 2-0. I was like, all right, okay, I guess Inter's looking pretty good. I'll put United back on just to see how they lose this, and just kind of drag their feet the whole match, and don't know how to set up a back line, hold a line.
Why play a high line against Liverpool?
They weren't really was it like with the first goal.
It's a high line.
But man,
second goal was a break.
You have 3 at the back though, right? So it's like, but that's the thing. Why did Ranić not choose Bailly? If you're gonna play back 3, I would have started Jones and Bailly. I would have played it back 4 and started Jones and Bailly. But
Jones, Bailly, and Lindelof.
Actually, no. Lindelof at right back. Yeah, he did it earlier. He did. He played well in that match. When did Lindelof play right back?
I know what you're talking about.
Was that Atletico? No, was it? It might have been. The first leg against Atletico, and he was okay there. And honestly, I would have done that instead of Bissaka. I don't know, Delo and Bissaka. If he shoehorns Delo over on the left, they swap.
Sean's hurt and Telles is also hurt, right? So
is Telles hurt, or is he just kind of pissed off with Telles? I didn't even check the bench. I didn't actually care to find out if Telles is injured or not. He's been. The whole team's been abysmal. But he just expected, and that's the worst part is that result was expected.
And you think it's good going forward? Just realizing, hey, we do need a rehaul. We're like a class below.
One class. We're under dirt. There's a layer of dirt.
You know what I'm talking about.
Liverpool is just burying us.
Things can change. You guys have money if you're going to spend it.
Well, so they're bringing Ten Hag, which I'm very happy about. I've been wanting Ten Hag since Nagelsmann went to Bayern. He was immediately my next in line, so I'm very happy about that. It's in my opinion, very good appointment. Maybe it doesn't pan out, but it's an appointment with lots of potential, and they have to back him. And I wonder, Ranieri's setup was very questionable. Again, you start 3 at the back and you don't put by. You have 3 slow center backs.
Yeah, against 3 fast players.
Don't get it. And a team that loves to overlap with their fullbacks as well. So that just knocks out your Delo and Bissaka wing backs. And like maybe people want to criticize Ranieri, which is in this instance fair. Obviously, the players have to take the brunt of it because they haven't been trying for months. But maybe Ranieri's like, if I start Bailly, it might not look as bad. We're gonna lose, but like let's really kind of lose here and
really getting into it, eh? And get the mind of Ragnar
and get the support that Ten Hag needs.
Wow, that's you're reaching, but he felt maybe
I am reaching.
This was damage limitation. I think that's the lineup. When I saw that lineup, I'm like, okay, I think he's accepting defeat, but maybe it's hopefully only 2-0 like it was City, and it's like sort of respectable.
City, the first leg for City, we lost 4-1 in the right.
Yes.
That was Ollie. That was still Ollie.
Who knows? But it was. I thought they showed a bit more fight. Maybe like what was if Pogba? Did he just not disclose it, or did he actually get hurt in the first? Because if you know you're not gonna just resign yourself to the bench.
When I saw Pogba come off injured, limping away, but not needing any help come off the field, it's like you just don't want to play. Yeah. And again, there's the majority of the team isn't up for it, and many of them don't actually care to be there. So please leave. And yeah, Pogba, you okay there?
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, the midfield was threadbare. All right, so whether Pogba wanted to be there or not, he threw him in there to see if he could create something. If he had one of those Pogba games where he actually kind of showed up, but obviously, I don't think we're going to see him play the rest of the season. I think he's going to, just kind of cut himself out
and say goodbye that way.
Man, well, against Norwich, so yeah, they go down 5. They go to 1-0 after 5 minutes. Easiest goal, butter. And then against Norwich, he got booed off the field too.
Yeah, he did.
Which is why is it always Pogba? I get like he's been a frustrating figure for United over 6 years, very inconsistent.
They don't boo their own. The English. They don't boo their own.
United crowds have been very good at never doing that, but it's also been plenty of years of success, and now it's coming to a boiling point, and it's happening more and more.
Yeah.
Maguire's been booed, justifiably so, but Maguire's also been cheered after he was booed by English fans.
So he doesn't get as much criticism as I think he should.
No, he doesn't.
Especially being the captain of the club.
Yeah.
But it's maybe something's got to change. I think with Ten Hag, it's pretty much official.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he saw that and he's like, you know what?
I might renew.
No, but no. He obviously knows how bad they've been anyway. Like this is he was probably expecting this result too. Like he's like, I don't even need to watch this right now.
It's probably better because there's less expectation. Right?
Oh well, exactly. I agree. I couldn't agree more. And I think United fans and the board also need to not expect top 4 next year.
Yeah, immediate jump back. Just focus
position wise. Just playing better football.
Get to Europa League.
Yeah. And get Europa League hopefully this season too.
Yeah. Just
so he has more games to experiment.
I don't think it will be hard.
What?
Well, you're 6 right now, right?
Oh, you think it's gonna be hard for United to get Europa League? Yeah. It's definitely not a lock. West Ham actually might finish above us.
No.
Who?
It won't be Wolves, but West Ham will be close. It'll be close.
It's going to be between them two. And yeah, okay. So I was going to say what happens if Leicester win the Conference League, but they'll just get a spot
in the Europa League. Right?
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Exactly. And West Ham can get Champions League.
No, West Ham Champions League
if they win Europa.
Oh right, yes. I thought you were talking about league.
No.
Yeah, they could. They're in the semis, right?
No,
they're there.
I like Leipzig personally, but
they beat the defending champ or the perennial champs, Sevilla.
Yes,
are they also defending? No, Villarreal. What am I saying?
Yeah. So anyway, utterly shambolic. Very excited about Ten Hag though. really good CV, as we all know. What he's done with Ajax in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I think he's won the title twice. I'm pretty sure they're more or less on pace. It was a really tight one. The COVID year, I think they shut their season down. I think they were tied for first, so they were a point ahead in first place. We saw what they did in the Champions League that one year. This year, I think
it was a disappointment this year.
It was. Said it a bunch of times.
Well, ever since they've been anointed with the Manchester United, they haven't looked as good.
Ever since it looks like last few weeks. It's like ever since it's going to be him. I know. Of course, everyone's like, oh, it's the United effect. He's already starting to sink. I didn't get to watch that match. I would have loved to watch that match. But 74% win percentage. I know it's their division, and I know he's managing Ajax, but you got to look at what he's done in terms of bringing youth and bringing new players. It's not like, and also turning careers around as well. You look at Tadic, Haller, Daley Blind has been a mainstay for them,
and also losing players and being able to stay afloat and seem like it's seamless, the transition. Mm-hmm. And they've actually gotten better every year in the league, right?
Yeah,
they dominate more.
Yeah,
and at one point they had a trouble in sights just a few weeks ago, but hopefully it pans out. They do play exciting football, so hopefully that translates to Manchester, and maybe in a few years, Manchester United are back where they belong.
Yeah,
top.
Maybe, but Mike, as we discussed, there's going to be that league is just chock full of competition, teams that are coming up as well. So if this Ten Hag appointment doesn't pan out, and he doesn't get the backing he needs, for whatever reason, maybe he gets the backing and doesn't pan out, or he just flat out doesn't get the backing. If this doesn't work, we're out to sea for like a decade. I'm saying a decade, man, because you got to look at all the other teams that are coming up and that have a good structure and a good core there. Newcastle's got all the money. West Ham's been hanging around.
Can they hang around after losing Rice and a few others? Can they?
Yes, absolutely. No, you're right. But there's still the likes of Villa who've been buying really well.
Yeah, that'll take some time though. I think you guys are still ahead of them. So
I know. Yeah, it's just things like you're still saying words like think they're ahead.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
We are, but yeah, it's bad, man. It's really bad. And kudos to Liverpool, but again, expected, and it didn't even look like they were trying.
I know. They had the quad in sight, and it ended up being a rest game, and they didn't really need to. They could have played a B lineup and got away with it, but I think they really wanted to, make a point and say this is our rivals.
Yeah, absolutely.
City, we're gonna win out, so you better win out.
Yeah, no, for sure, and so they should. Luis Diaz, man, that's the thing. A big thing for me with Luis Diaz is that he's taken Jota's spot.
I know.
Isn't that wild?
I know. And Jota's still performing.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was performing. It's like Jota was cold when Luis Diaz came in. Luis Diaz came in and
I thought Jota was going to start today, seeing that Diaz started on the weekend. And nope, he's earned his spot.
He's the man. He's the man. And curse me for not picking him up when I did my wild card. Because I was still like, surely Jota's
still going
to be getting at least splitting. And I'd expect Jota to play on the weekend.
On the weekend,
I expected, but they have to win out, so they have to rotate. Jota's got to get there, right? Before we get to Dyche, let's just quickly talk about the FA Cup between Liverpool and City.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch it, but I did watch the extended highlights. What are your thoughts on that match? Because there's one thing I really want to bring up with you, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
It was what I not expected, but I hoped and I thought would happen, but it was City. They went down early. You could see that they were actually kind of frazzled. I know it wasn't their A lineup, with De Bruyne out and possibly Walker. Well, he was out, but I don't know if he necessarily would have been a shoo-in to start this game.
Fair
enough. But they looked a bit rattled, and I think Liverpool could sense that. Obviously, the horrible error by Stefan really kind of okay, now it's like they're down 2.
Yep.
Liverpool, when they go up 2, they rarely ever lose. And they always go up early and just take the life out of the team. And that's sort of what happened in the first half.
Taking life out of City is not always,
easy.
Yeah.
And it's a Pep team. And that goal before half, like I thought would really break the spirit. I'm like, okay, this could get 4-5-1 type of feel, but
early goal from Grealish,
and there was at least they looked more settled after that, and they had 2 good chances to make it 3-2 in quick succession, and they missed. And Liverpool, they did have their chance to make it 4-1 and put it to bed with, I guess, the Salah. I think there was one other chance, but that was more the game that I thought would be that those last 40 minutes, where both teams would have chances.
Right.
Obviously, City getting.
I didn't see much of Liverpool in the second half. Again, only
they looked way better in the first half.
For sure. I mean, the scoreline would definitely suggest as much, barring the Steffen mistake. Bleacher Report idol Zach Steffen. I love him. It's just an American. He's.
It was horrible. We don't really have to talk about it much.
There's one thing I do want to mention, and again, this is just what I got from the highlights. Is there something up with Virgil van Dijk?
And why is he injured?
Is he injured? Is he
100%.
Is he just arrogant? Because based on both goals and that Jesus miss at 3-1, he's jogging, he's trotting.
So what, do you think there's something up with him?
Maybe. I hope, because I was like, I was watching the Hudson, I was getting angry watching him, especially, he's a great player. People want to consider him as the best CB in Prem history, which I can't have. And you absolutely, I think more so than me, can't have it.
No.
And I would absolutely agree. But, so that was I'm like, this guy, I was like, are you playing for United or do you think you're playing against United? One of the two. One of the two. That's just what I got. It's he was literally trotting along for Grealish, Grealish's goal. He's jogging back. What if Alisson stops Grealish and then there's a rebound, and then he's on the wrong side for the Silva goal. But again, he's jogging and he's just jogging. Mars slips it through, and with the Jesus chance, I don't know if he was looking for Konate to switch it to him, but he's standing way back, so maybe he's waiting for that.
Yeah.
But then Konate, terrible pass, and the reading of the game. It was lazy because I'm sure he could have been no, okay, I'm not gonna actually force Jesus offside here, and then after he does a half-assed offside trap, he's jogging again. I would implore anyone to just watch his highlights and see what's up.
I know he's it's weird because he's the type of defender where in today's game he is one of the best. But compared to the greats, he's just not there for me. Yeah. And I did kind of notice it. I'll make sure to go back and watch specifically those chances. But he does have moments like that during other games.
Yeah, I remember against Chelsea.
I'm just but the Pulisic goal was just it's just it's moments like these where I'm I can't just put you up there. But compared to everyone else, he's obviously
he's great. He's a late bloomer, which he admitted himself over the weekend too. He's really enjoying himself, and as he should be. He has been great. And maybe the injury has knocked him back. He's been solid this year. Liverpool looked great, much more reassured with him, obviously. But night and day. You saw what they were last year. No fans as well. It was a really weird season for Liverpool. But Van Dijk's integral to them. I'm not saying he's not, but it really rubbed me the wrong way.
We'll see if there is, and it would be surprising. Obviously in the game against City he would play, but maybe some of the lesser games they maybe give him a rest or just having him in the team. Just fear amongst the team they're facing that. Okay, they're fielding their best lineup, even though he could be playing through an injury. I don't think so. I think we would have heard of it by now.
That's what I'm thinking. So then I'm looking at him is there some kind of arrogance and complacency that I had never really noticed with him before. But as you said, Mike, there have been times this season outside of this match where it's you just got to get the magnifying glass out a little bit and just look a little closer and see what's going on. Anyway, something to keep an eye on. Maybe he was just feeling a little cocky there up 3-0 and we won't concede again. You conceded 2 minutes in the first half. So
2 minutes at the end pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Sean Dyche, how do you feel about this?
I know how you feel about this. But
devastated, gutted.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And I
Yeah.
can understand if he was there 2-3 years, but he's been there 9 years,
Mhm.
over 9 years. Like, just let him see out the season. Like, you still have a chance to not get relegated. You've done it how many times in a row? 6 seasons? The 5 seasons. This would be 6 if they do it right. And it's just like, why not just trust them one more time? And if you were going to make this firing, why don't you make it earlier so like you have more time to implement the style of play that you want?
Mhm.
With 7 games left?
But I honestly don't think, okay, yeah. So, but the things that they said I've looked into this a little bit, and I'm intrigued what Burnley's trying to do. Alan Pace is their chairman now. He took over in December. His company, the ALK company, bought like the majority stake now.
Of Burnley. Is that why they had a transfer window in January?
Well, I mean, they got Weghorst, and Cornet was already done by whoever was in before. So, like, I was like, oh, maybe this guy brought in Cornet, but I think he actually might have. No. So he's came in December. It's a weird one though, because Mike, it's like they stated that they wanted like a reaction from the team, but I mean, they brought in the under-23 coach who's been there since July or August.
So it's like a
2021.
Less than more than Pirlo, but
and I'm hearing grumblings of Ben Mee, kind of doing player coaching kind of thing. I guess, and he's injured as well. So
like retiring?
What's no, like player coach, yeah, like. But he's been injured too, right? So I'm sure Ben Mee, he's a leader in the locker room.
Here we go.
I don't get it, Mike. I really don't.
I didn't know that. Oh,
I don't get it.
This is definitely like it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just like give the guy his due respect. Let him see out the last 7 games. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you can achieve next year. I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the way you're going to go, but
championship or not, yeah.
This is just. Give it to the guy who's done it for you 5 straight years.
Pace, so their chairman does say he wants to make Burnley like everyone's favorite underdog in England or the UK, which I could get behind. I think, and I do. It does kind of seem like he's American too, which always kind of raises alarm bells. But he does have a lot of history and experience in football. He was. He was a Wall Street guy, yada yada yada. But he got brought in into Real Salt Lake. I think in like the early 2000s or something like that, as their president by the owner. And within 2 years, they did win the title. He does have lots of sports acumen and experience. And I think maybe he's trying to, revamp Burnley a little bit more, like to get away from what Dyche was doing. But again, it's just not the time to do it. And a legend of the club, I think it was Carragher, but some pundit said that he wants, or they should erect a statue of him in front of the Turf Moor.
They should.
And yeah, they're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. They've even, I don't know how long this happened. It didn't just happen. Burnley changed where are we? The Princess Royal pub to the Royal Dyche.
Well, since he's been there.
And yeah, in that time. I'm not sure how long ago, but they have shade, like they've literally
he doesn't get the good farewell tour. Like you can announce it now that at the end of the season he won't be there, and I think that would have given more of a
we kind of did him dirty, and
no, just like, well, here guys, this is the spark you want. Like play for him, do it for him.
Sure.
Like that. If you're gonna go that way, that's the way to do it. Don't just say, you know what, we're done with you right now.
Yeah. Well, on the surface. Because I also didn't watch this match, but I saw them 1-0 up against West Ham. Cornet misses a penalty, and they end up drawing West Ham on the road. And I was like, you know what? I know if Dyche was still there, I would have really considered like a win or a draw for Burnley in that match. But the fact they did him like that, I was like, no. Even despite West Ham, maybe being a little hungover after defeating Lyon a few days before, and in France, I was like, no, I still like West Ham. And sure, I watched these highlights and. Burnley had a few chances, for sure. They broke reasonably well, but West Ham, like Nick Pope saved them, and Antonio's poor finishing. Like it was not convincing at all. Like it easily could have been a good 3-1 for West Ham in that match.
I didn't see the match, but unfair. As much as I want Burnley down, they did them dirty.
They did.
They did them dirty.
They did. Although I still want Everton.
Now I really want them down.
I know, and I've said I've said on the show before, I back Burnley's anti-football because they really take it there, but Sean Dyche, like, he embodies it, right?
Yeah.
And if they get rid of Dyche, then I want them down. But I now that's happened, and even though I can't wrap my head around it, I still kind of want them up just because Everton to me deserves to go down more somehow.
Yes.
Let's go into that then. Let's go to Everton Leicester tomorrow. Let's preview that.
Okay. Definitely not prepared for this one. How do you want? Obviously, you want Leicester to win.
Yeah, I do. It's a weird one for me. Everton's been terrible. Obviously, Leicester's just been kind of Jekyll and hiding it all season long. They have some key injuries. With Ndidi. Ndidi's been out for a long time though. So so is Vardy. I think they can still make do. Everton desperate. Leicester focuses the Conference League.
At this point,
Everton at home. There's a lot of factors that I think go back and forth for each squad.
Conference League next week or 2 weeks from now? I assume it's the same week.
Yeah. At this point,
they might field a good squad. Leicester really has nothing to play for in the league. Obviously, the higher you finish, the more money you get. So that's obviously the motivation. But what difference is 10th to 13th or 13th to 9th? Like to
right.
Them, it was just a bad year, right? After coming off of back-to-back 5th place finishes and being right at the cusp of Champions League, this is obviously a disappointing season.
But they have the time now before the Conference League, right?
Yes, so they should field a good squad and should at least obviously go into every game trying to win, but maybe they want to help contribute to Everton's downfall, right? And at this point, a lot of teams are facing Everton. It's like, you know what?
That's true.
Why not? Like, if you can get you out of here, like, maybe you don't come back. Like, obviously I would expect them to come back the championship, but they would still have a lot of players leaving. And desperate for Everton and obviously desperate for Lampard. They signed him thinking that he'd be able to clearly save them and establish something going into the future. So, but this is going to be a desperate game for both the players and the manager, and that could backfire. I forget how you took the Lampard appointment, because I remember saying, I'm pulling for him, but I don't. I think it's a good appointment for him, not for Everton. Yeah, but who else was Everton going to get? You wait for Rooney?
No, well, at the time, you had to make a move. I mean, Everton are also poorly run. I mean, they're chopping, changing managers all the time. They're putting money into certain signings, not building a core of a squad. I mean, you look at, they got rid of Benitez 2 weeks after they got rid of Luke. They sold Luca Digne because Luca Digne was disgruntled by Benitez.
Yeah,
it's moves like that. And then you bring in Frank Lampard, who Lampard. That was actually a complete slip. But who does things like sign Dele Alli and completely backs him. It's like, I know what kind of player Dele Alli is, and he's been on the bench 4 matches in a row, hasn't seen a minute.
He must be awful in practice.
Oh yeah,
so he must be. I don't know. It's like I kind of hope they stay up. I kind of want Lampard to have like a fresh start with like a team that should be his type of caliber to like raise his resume and see what he can do, because obviously he was a great player, but
I think he might be done. I think
he's definitely done if they get relegated. But I think if he stays up, like hopefully the players can believe in him enough.
But Mike, what has he learned in the time that he's been fired since Chelsea? You've seen the way that Everton have played under him, and they are an open book.
Yeah,
Burnley were creating chances like they were Man City against them.
Is it partly the players though too?
I mean,
because the players probably think they're better than they really are playing right now.
Listen, I
their ego might be.
I think there's a bit of United mentality in that team for sure. Absolutely. A little bit of laziness, like why they're so open. But were they that open under Benitez? That's what I'm trying.
Maybe not, but it's change of
So it's like, okay, so we're adapting. We're adapting to.
And they're adapting on the go in a stressful, desperate time. So it's like, this should be. What I hope he's learning from this is seeing who the players that actually
Try.
he could build around
Yeah.
and try and want to be here
Mhm.
and want to change it around. Don't just say, hey, I'm getting paid to the end of the season. If we get relegated, I'm out.
Yeah, I think there's some definite players with attitude issues on the team, 100%. And also, yeah, they're like the poor man's United to me. I think someone like Richarlison. I actually like Richarlison, but he's definitely got
I think
a bit of an
out of the door.
Yes, he's got a bit of an attitude too. He did it with Watford to get to Everton as well, right? So, but unless a team like United make a completely utterly bonehead move and pick him up, I think he can make for do like a West Ham kind of thing.
Another mid.
I could say he's that level, but he would need to actually
that.
apply himself. What's the deal with Doucouré? Another player that I liked at Watford as well, and I thought it was a nice little pickup by them. Inconsistent.
It was good yet last year, but inconsistent this year.
Injured again, a little bit injury prone. I'm looking at that team, and it's like Michael Keane. Is he like the Harry Maguire? Like, he's just not good enough.
You're just going player for player personnel.
They do truly remind me of United. But like someone like Anthony Gordon is definitely something that he obviously loves and who's going to be putting in work.
So that's Ilanga, eh?
Yes, that's Ilanga. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the parallels are endless between those two clubs.
I'm gonna go 1-1 at this game.
You're going 1-1?
1-1.
It's a bit of a tricky one. There's just so many factors. You know what a really big factor for me was? I was actually leaning on Everton to win, just because of them being desperate and Leicester maybe just kind of not necessarily caring too much. But the way Everton play, Leicester can create chances in that. Like that midfield can counter, can cut them apart. And Wesley Fofana's been back finally. Which for me is a bit of a deal breaker in a match where Leicester's been struggling defensively all season, but he played the full 90 against PSV. I think like in his second match back since being injured, and they pulled that win on the road at Eindhoven, and I'm actually going 2-1 Leicester.
2-1.
I actually think Fofana alone kind of tilts the scales in this. I think he'll be hungry, he'll be eager, and I think they can feed off the rest of the team feed off that. And again, I watched Everton play against City. Or sorry, I say City, I meant Burnley. I meant Burnley, and
if Burnley could do that to them, anyone should, right?
Yeah, absolutely, except for United. Come on, man! Wow. Okay, let's stick with the relegation battle, and then we'll come back to the big one tomorrow. Burnley Southampton.
Southampton with that surprising win against Arsenal because they were just getting eaten alive for a good 4 games there, weren't they?
Yeah, they'll go through big time droughts.
And then they have these shocker, like, I don't know what to expect with this team. They look good in stretches. They look awful in stretches. And when they go down, if they go down 2, they just put their head down.
And they don't get pumped. Yeah.
I don't. And they just like accept it. They just lay down and take it. And I really don't know. And Burnley, like Everton, have to play desperate. And how are they going to respond to this sacking? I don't think it's going to go their way. And much as I don't trust Southampton, I'm going to go Southampton 2-0. I know it's going to be one. Maybe this is like the run of games where like Southampton can really obviously assure themselves of safety. I think they already have.
They're safe,
but maybe
that was not even on my mind.
I know, but
39
maybe
points.
Get to top 10.
Sure,
that drive. It's like as bad as the season has been.
They can scam top 10.
Yes, and get that extra money.
I
don't see Burnley. Like I don't see how this sacking really benefits them, and I'm just hoping they go down. So
the one thing I will say about this move that the Dyche firing is like, okay, you're looking for a shakeup, or no, sorry, not just a response, but you're not changing how you play.
Yeah, well,
You're not learning it. No. To me, that Burnley foundation is
too far
ensconced in Sean Dyche.
Too far rooted.
It is, and it was him. And like you took away the trunk, all right. But maybe these roots can kind of just get together and just piece something together and sprout something just for the rest of the year in his honor. And Sean Dyche is at home watching West Ham Burnley with a tear in his eyes, like, come on, Woodsy. Or, oh no, you're at Newcastle. Like, come on, Brownhill.
Oh.
And Maxi Cornet, and he is like, I would be shocked if Sean Dyche was at home bitterly cheering against Burnley. That's the kind of guy I think that he is, and how much that club means to him, and vice versa. So, in a weird, as shocking as it was,
so if they gave him a box, would he go?
Yeah, I think so.
After the game sacked, I wouldn't go. No, I think he wouldn't go either.
In some weird way, I think maybe it was
just for the first game.
Kind of not mutual, definitely not mutual, but like, I don't think he'd be as pissed off.
I don't know if he's watching this game
as people might think. Shocked, but maybe like understand.
I'd be shocked.
Shocked.
I wouldn't watch this game, nor would I attend a thing. Why did me?
I wonder what is going on in Sean Dyche's mind right now. Yeah, you know what? It's just, I think they've had a little time to regroup. I think they were lucky to get that point against West Ham, but they still did, as I said, they still did create a couple chances. They caused some problems on set pieces, which Southampton are not that great at defending. And Southampton rely on set pieces a lot, which Burnley are pretty good at defending. So, and they're going up against a midfield that's just not up to snuff compared to West Ham. Again, desperation. Home field. I'm going 2-0 Burnley.
2-0 Burnley.
Yeah. I'm going 2-0 Burnley. I think I would take Southampton's midfield over United's, but what?
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Romeu and Ward-Prowse versus McTominay.
You couldn't even say it without laughing.
Versus McTominay and Fred.
McTominay and Fred went there, and you missed them today.
They were there the other time. And it was 5-0. So, improvements. But it's a debate. That's all I'm saying. Right.
It's not a debate.
Really? Yeah, 100%.
I know it's been a long day, but
anyway, I just I think again, whole crap. I think that really hard hitting, hungry. They're gonna be hungry and desperate. Midfield will be able to deal with Prowse, and I think they'll win that battle.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Clearly
Southampton's on a mini roll. Ward-Prowse break. No, he'll get one.
Well, let's get on to that Arsenal Chelsea. We're going to close with Arsenal Chelsea, and let's quickly talk about Southampton Arsenal, because again, I was watching that banger United Norwich. Did you see, like, that lineup was just like, I said 3-2. Once I saw the lineup, like that game was ending 3-2, and we were lucky. It could have been 3-2 Norwich actually. But anyway, enough with those clods. Arsenal fans, from what I gather, were pretty upset. 3 in a row, I get it. Was the performance that bad is what I want to know. Because, again,
they missed
the extent of how it's Forster.
Yeah.
Big saves.
Soccer, that would have been good for fantasy.
Big saves.
Soccer, but it was big saves. Maybe, this is 3 losses in a row with only, 1 goal scored?
Yeah.
And that was
who did they lose to before Brighton? Because that hasn't been, like, cream of the crop by any stretch. Brighton, Southampton, and
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace is
3-0.
Thumped them.
So it's like they're just struggling to score. Maybe it's just a rough patch, but
they're threadbare in the midfield right now. The loss of Thomas Partey has been crushing to them.
Yes, and they had to play Xhaka left back one of the games.
Yes,
that
was the Palace match. He didn't go back to that.
No, Tavares was the Palace match.
Oh, so Brighton. And then Brighton. That's right. That's right. And that's why he did. That's part of it.
Got rinsed.
That's right.
Palace. Those goals where he got taken off at halftime. And I don't know. I just hope it's a good top 4 race, but this is a bad time. Like a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I feel a lot more confident with Arsenal going into this game, but Chelsea coming off a 6-0 thumping.
Southampton.
They
bounced back since that Real match.
They played well. Unlucky did not go through, but since that Real match, they turned it around.
Since the home match.
Yeah. They've
Tuchel threw a little tantrum, a little basement dwelling.
And they responded.
Tantrum.
Yes, they responded.
I know. It's not refreshing.
It's given life to Werner, and he's making the most of his opportunity.
I gotta say, I'm not happy with that because I still wanted Werner. I wanted to poach Werner. Just kind of peter out at Chelsea, and we'll give you a chance. And now
they might not let him go.
No, and nor should they.
But unfortunate for Arsenal, and I think they will come back with a strong performance, but I don't think it'll be enough.
They do
play Chelsea well.
Since Arteta's been there, apart from really more or less the reverse fixture at the beginning of the season when Arsenal was just kind of shambolic. It was the second game of the season. Lukaku came in.
That was his first game.
Yeah, a lot of factors there, but they played them very well. Beat them in the FA Cup final. I remember a couple years ago when Arsenal it was like Christmas time, maybe in the COVID year actually, like full season.
Yeah.
So last year, I think it was last year actually. Arsenal was struggling, and then they beat them soundly like 3-1 or something. Like Arteta
has a Martinelli 80-yard run when Conte slipped, and that was at Stamford Bridge. I'm pretty sure too.
Not that it mattered, but no fans would still.
Actually, and there was one where Willian had. No, that was when he. But
Arteta has played them well. And honestly, if they were not even the form, to me, it's the fact that they're just missing. Honestly, that midfield. I don't think that midfield. He's got to do something where he shores it up a little more. It can't just be Lokonga, and who I haven't kept an eye on in this little run of matches he's had. He's an interesting signing for me. I'm not knocking him at all, but like Lokonga and Xhaka versus Conte and Jorginho. And with the double wing backs of Chelsea, I just don't know.
Kovacic is
injured.
Right?
Yeah. It just seems like a tall ask, and I think he might have to shake up the formation. I know Arteta loves 4-2-3-1. They've had a good season. They're in a really crucially bad vein of form right now, but with Partey out,
does he slip
Smith Rowe?
No. Odegaard back, because I know when Xhaka went left back, Odegaard got back, so they could fit all three.
Yeah, but I think that's still too attacking. I don't like. Can Odegaard win that battle with Xhaka?
So you just think it's still going to be Xhaka and Lokonga? Does Lokonga change his name to on the jersey to Sambi now?
I don't know. Maybe he did.
I think he did. He doesn't go by Lokonga like he did in the first match, but at least just for his jersey. Maybe I'm just confusing two players, but.
4-3-3, get Rowe back, actually give Rowe more midfield duties, or Odegaard. I mean, you could,
Yeah, he has to play around with something.
But you want Odegaard more centrally, right? If you do 4-3-3, he's going to be more forced out to the wing. 3-4-3 even.
I don't think what he does. I just don't think they win this matchup. It just 2-3 weeks ago. I think it's a lot different, but going at 3 straight. A big game against Chelsea who are rolling now and want to keep it rolling. A lot of players have a lot to prove for next season.
Sure.
I just think this is too tall of an ask. Chelsea's at home too, right?
Yes.
It's too tall of an ask for Arsenal.
I agree.
And I'm going 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going 1-0. Chelsea.
Dicey game?
No, not dicey. Just
you don't I don't know. I can put it to bed?
It's just a feeling. We're calling correct scores here. Why are you saying when's 2-0 for you? 60th? Easy seed out, not late.
75th.
I could see that. I could see it earlier. I'm just saying maybe Chelsea's kind of struggling out. Just a feeling. But 1-0. And 1-0 pushing 2-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
We'll see, but unfortunate. Arsenal, you still have time to turn it around. This will be a huge match, but I don't know. Tottenham got their loss out, and you couldn't capitalize. And now we got to finish. A top 4 finish. At least neutral fan I'm happy about.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I hope Spurs pull it out. United they had Liverpool today, which was rescheduled. I'm not complaining. The United, quickly, back to these accounts. Like, they're kind of, like, complaining. It's like, you guys just did this to yourselves. I see why you're complaining. But, so Liverpool got rearranged, and then Arsenal on the weekend. And then the complaint was, because Chelsea made the final, we were supposed to play them the second last week of the season, which was that weekend. And now we play Chelsea next Thursday. So we had Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea in, like, 9 days.
Oh,
1 point. I'll take 1 point. I will. If Thomas Partey is still injured, no, we're going to Arsenal. We're done for. But we'll talk about that on Thursday. So we're coming back on Thursday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna review all these. And we're gonna preview the weekend. But before we wrap up, I got a couple things for you. Congratulations, your boys. They made it. You know what I'm talking about, do you?
Forest, what?
No, your other boys.
Oh, Fulham.
Fulham's up.
It, yes.
It came up during the United-Liverpool match.
Oh,
Fulham is officially promoted.
Yeah, wow.
It's been a long time coming. How many goals does Mitrovic have? Like, my
he
goodness.
scored 2 today.
I
Right?
know.
I think he's at 40.
The guy that's like.
I think he's at 40 now. I think he was at 38 going into this game.
Ivan. He used to hold my beer on Ivan Toney, eh?
Oh yeah, but he did that like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, why am I struggling here? I just want to see how many goals he actually has. Fulham. Sure, Preston. Yeah, 2 goals. He is the championship destroyer. 40 goals in 40 matches and 7 assists.
Yeah. He was at 30 and this we got 40. And the old record was 31. And Tony set that last year.
Vlahovic or Mitrovic?
It has to be Vlahovic.
because he's had a couple years in Serbia. I'm kidding.
Serbia.
I agree.
Serbia looking good if they can both be in form. And you got Tadic playing them balls. You know,
you playing both of them together?
Yeah, that's what they did in qualifying.
Yeah.
That's why against Portugal in the desperate game, it worked. Right, all
There you
3 of them. You just play they're your 3 best players.
Yeah,
right?
and they got Savic in there too. Yeah,
Matic too old, but they got some other good players. They can make a run. I think obviously they're going to play that Switzerland game. They're probably going to have to have like split sections for that game at the World Cup because of what happened
last time. I know. I'm so glad they drew each other.
Yeah, I know.
It's very exciting.
I hope Serbia gets their revenge.
So Mitrovic didn't start that match. He came on at halftime, and they flipped it though, right? No, they already tied it at that point. They scored the winner. And then quickly, I know you've really been trying to skirt this and not talk about it, but thoughts? Inter has won. Inter beat AC today 3-0 in the semifinal for the Coppa Italia, and your boys Juve are up 1-0
against Fiorentina.
And you're at home tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you feeling? You really pre-shows like? Can we just not talk about Juve? Why do I have to drag? Do you just like me just rambling on about United all the time?
No, it's just I just need to get to next year. Hopefully, we stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We know what our revolution is going to be because we still haven't figured it out. Pirlo was trending earlier today, and I was like, oh, why is he trending? And it's all the people bringing up his season last year compared to Allegri's seasons this year.
Mm-hmm.
We had more points, more wins. Less losses, way more goals, and it's like, oh, do we, move on too quickly?
Was it Ronaldo?
It's the top. We got to make some changes at the top, and as much as they don't want to point the finger at themselves, they have to start pointing because look at all the players we had Spinazzola and Cancelo. We let them both go.
Sorry, who was the first one you said?
Spinazzola.
Oh, you went to Roma, eh? Rome?
We got him from Roma.
You got him from Rome.
And then
Cancelo, yes, I'm spacing on Spinazzola right now.
But it's some of the players we let go, they go on, like Kulusevski. Like
that was a weird one for me,
man. Bentancur, I can kind of see, but
Kulusevski wasn't getting any time under.
What was the point of signing Keane if you're not going to play him as much?
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with Morata?
Well, you're making like a bunch of these deals, before Allegri came in, right?
I'm not blaming Allegri, but I'm just saying for the past 3 years, ever since we got Ronaldo, we haven't really, like when Ronaldo was here, we haven't given the team to really flourish, and we got slightly worse for 4 straight years. And
Good finish to the season.
Coppa Italia, it's like, I do agree with Allegri. It's like, if we win it, it's expected. But if we lose, then it makes headlines. It's like, at this point, it's all we have left to play for, and we should go through. I'll be shocked if we lose to Fiorentina. But again,
unless you botch top 4.
Thankfully, Roma lost to Napoli.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they tied it?
Yeah.
Oh. No. Oh, I saw 1-0 89th minute. Did they have a red?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, their backup keeper got a red.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I thought. Oh.
That's hilarious.
Jesus.
That's
So they're still 5 points behind.
Yeah,
we're creeping up. We should hang on to top 4, but
they've been in good form lately, man.
I hate this, man. Oh,
that's great.
Wow,
you didn't know.
I saw 1-0 89, and I just assumed they won.
And you assumed that they were down a man too.
Yes, I did. There's no way.
I was following the score on that game. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, wait, what? He's not playing. So I'm scrolling. Like, wait, what? Who the hell is Daniel Fusato? I was like, I swear I checked the lineup and I do not recognize that name. And like I'm looking, I'm like, no, there's no red card here. I'm like, oh, okay, he's the backup keeper. He's just John off of the bench.
Yeah, but
you didn't know.
We should get by Fiorentina. I still think if we get by Fiorentina, we're going to lose to Inter. So it really doesn't matter. Might as well lose now and just focus on the league, stay healthy, play the players that you want to see. Am I going to keep? Am I going to not? And let's try and focus on getting a few midfielders, players that will help build this nucleus. It sucks that Dybala's going to leave for free, but that's the cost of business sometimes. So,
and you lost Kulusevski.
Yeah,
because Spurs are going to sign him.
Oh yeah, whatever. At least that's money for us. Hopefully to buy someone to replace him. But
Shabashai.
Yeah,
it's funny. Shabazlai, Shabashai, like just got to say them all. I think actually it's Shabashai.
That's proper way to say it.
I think so. But even like I've been saying Shabazlai, but I was even watching the highlights for when he scored the winner against Leverkusen on the weekend. Anyway, so I was watching those highlights, and the commentator for the Bundesliga pronounced it slightly differently than Shabazlai. I forget how he said it. I'm like, wow, no one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
And sometimes
legend.
Sometimes I think it's just the announcers, though, because I know with Juve it's Zakaria. And I'm just like,
yeah,
whatever. Maybe it's just.
I actually think the Hungarian pronunciation is Shabashai, but don't quote me on it. I'm 60% sure. And yeah,
how do you think that match should go? What he wanted to bring it up?
Juve Fiorentina. I think you'll win. I think.
We barely won the first leg. And they play more attractive style.
You guys barely won. You guys had no business winning the first leg. None at all. None at all. But you know what? That's.
I don't even think we had a shot on goal.
Until you scored.
Was that a shot or it was like a cross shot?
Vlahovic scored.
No, it was an own goal.
Was it?
It was an own goal.
Oh man.
It was an own goal. It was a cross. I think Quadrado shot crossed it and it was going wide, and the defender tried to clear it. Cleared it into the net. Okay.
All right. 90th minute too. How do I think it's gonna go? Man, I mean, based on that reverse fixture, doesn't look good. But no. I'm gonna go 2-0 Juve.
1-1 tie.
I hope so. I hope Fiorentina score first.
If anything, I'd rather Fiorentina go to the finals, but I think they have a better chance of being. Well, we obviously have a better chance, but I think that game would mean more, and they would play better. It'd be a good final. I take your point. They also put in a great performance against Inter a few weeks ago. Yes.
And they could have won that match. I was at the San Siro too, I think.
Yes.
And that finished 1-1. So yeah, I mean, not a bad point. I mean, they haven't really missed a beat since losing Vlahovic. Yeah. So yeah, I think where credit's due. All right, guys. Anything else? You good?
No, I'm good.
Does he bring Juve? You just said that on a sour note, eh?
It's a bad day for you.
You know what? Honestly, you made my day by not realizing that Roma pulled out a tie. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, back on Thursday. Twice a week. Get it in you. Subscribe at Only Football Pod for Instagram. We'll see you Thursday night.
You're looking at me like that.
Nothing. What was that?